Hello students, here I am giving you the answer for Gujarat Board March 2023 paper. So we'll start with the part A, which is your objective part, and here this is your first question. Which substance is used as collector in froth flotation process? So students, in froth flotation process we are using some collectors and stabilizer, but here it is asking you collector. So generally fatty acid we are using as collector, fatty acid, then you have pine oil, then you have xanthates. So these can be used as collectors. So answer will be C. This will be your correct answer. Then question number 2, for which concentrated ore calcination process is not useful, right? So generally calcination we are using for carbonate ores, right? Is not means we don't have to use calcination. So this is your sulfide ore. So generally for sulfide ore we are using roasting, right? It is already in oxide form, no need to do calcination or roasting. This can't be your answer. It is carbonate ore. Again, it is not your answer, because for carbonate ore we are using calcination, but they are asking not useful. Then here also calcination we cannot use. So for sulfide ore calcination is not useful because we are using roasting process. So answer will be A. Then question number 3, it is memory based question. German silver is a mixture of which metals? So it is an alloy of copper, zinc and nickel. So option D will be your answer. Then question number 4, how many lone pairs of electron is present on xenon in XeO3? So in XeO3, xenon is connected to 3 oxygen. So 3 oxygen, it means it has made bonds, right? So 3 bonds means 6 electron already it has used, right? So 6 electron it has used, total it is having 8 electron. So 8 minus 6 means 2 electron. 2 electron means 1 lone pair. So it is having only 1 lone pair. Answer will be C, fourth C. Then question number 5th, which order for thermal stability of the following compound is correct? So if you will see these options, you will see they all are group number 16 elements. And if you are going from top to bottom, your bond dissociation enthalpy will decrease, right? It means thermal stability will also decrease if you are going top to bottom. So option B will be the correct answer. As you are going from top to bottom, thermal stability will be decreased. Then question number 6, which gas is used in Ohm's signal? Again memory based question. Phosphine is used in Ohm's signal. So answer will be D, pH3. Then question number 7, carbon plus concentrated H2SO4, what will be the product? X and Y. So when carbon is reacting with H2SO4, we are getting CO2 plus SO2 plus water vapor. So answer will be A. X will be CO2 and Y will be SO2. Then question number 8, the shape of magnet ion. So the shape of magnet ion is tetrahedral and the hybridization is sd3 not sp3. It is exceptional case. So answer will be tetrahedral, option B. Then question number 9, which compound has magnetic moment equal to 4.90 bm? So 4.90 is indicating that you have 4 unpaired electron. So if you will go for these options, option C means FeSO4 is present as Fe2 positive. Fe2 positive means electronic configuration will be 3d6, and if you are checking its electronic configuration in d orbitals, so it will be like this. So we have 1, 2, 3 and 4 unpaired electron. Answer will be C. Then question number 10, which oxidation state is common for lanthanoid elements? So plus 3 is the most common oxidation state for lanthanoid elements. Answer will be B. Then question number 11, number of possible isomer for this compound. So as you can say, this is bidentate ligand oxalate. If you will see the isomer, their isomer can be like this. We have 2 water molecules and then we have 2 oxalate. So this is your trans isomer then we have cis also. So in cis, so cis will be like this, oxalate and oxalate. So this cis isomer is optically active. Optically active means it can make optical isomer D and L. So two optical isomer, and here we have one this trans isomer, right? So total will be 3. 11th answer will be D. Then question number 12. Which is the correct formula for Wilkinson catalyst? It is memory based question. Answer will be C. Then we have next question. Question number 13. How many monochlorostructural isomer expected to be formed on free radical monochlorination of isopentane? See, isopentane, the skeletal structure will be like this. So if you will see the arrangement of carbon, this is the first type of carbon, second type of carbon, this is third, and they both are same, right? So it means we have 4 different type of positions. It means if you will place chlorine, right, so we will get 4 isomer, right? So answer will be 4. 13 answer will be B. Then question number 14. This is Wood's reaction and we are getting this product 2,3-dimethyl butane. So 2,3-dimethyl butane, the skeletal structure will be like this. So how many carbon we are getting? Total 6 carbon. So here in this structure, here in this reaction, generally the product is double of your reactant. Means if in the reactant you have 2 carbon, in product you will get 4 carbon. So here in the product we have 6 carbon, it means reactant should contain only 3 carbon. So 3 carbon atom, here you can see option A will be your correct answer. Then we have question number 15. Which compound has highest reactivity towards SN2 reaction? So in SN2 reaction, generally we see the hindrance. Less hindrance, it means more reactivity towards SN2 reaction. If you will see these options, option C is having least hindrance, right, for the living group. So answer will be that C. Then question number 16. By which reaction Freon 1,2 is prepared from CCl4? So it is Schwarz reaction. Schwarz reaction can form Freon 1,2. Then question number 17. Which compound will give yellow PPT on reaction with sodium hypoiodide? So here secondary butyl alcohol will give you yellow PPT. Then question number 18. Salicylaldehyde on heating with zinc dust give which compound? It will give you benzaldehyde. Then question number 19. Which compound has highest value of pKa? So more is the pKa value, weaker will be the acid. Weaker will be your acid. So if you will see here, we have nitro group on phenol, then it is phenol. Phenol is slightly acidic. Then nitro. Nitro is electron, you can say it is withdrawing group. So electron withdrawing group, generally they will increase the acidity. So nitro group, they cannot be our answer, and we need to choose from phenol and cresol. So in cresol, we have one methyl group. In cresol, what we have? We have methyl group. Methyl is electron donating group. It will decrease the acidity. So this will be your appropriate answer. 19 answer will be C. Then question number 20. Which reagent is useful in the conversion of ethane nitrile to ethanol? So here we need some strong reducing agent. Answer will be A, LiAlH4. Then question number 21. How many pi electrons are present in thalamide? So we need to see the structure. This is your 6-membered ring, and then we have this structure. We have oxygen and here we have NH. So here we need to see pi electron. Pi electrons are present when we have double bond. So 3 double bond means 6 electron plus 2. So total 6 plus 4. How many pi electron? 10 pi electron will be there. So answer will be A. Then question number 22, which salt is insoluble in water? So all these are your diazonium salt. So if you will see all these, only this benzene diazonium, your fluoroborate, this is insoluble. This is not soluble in water. So option B will be your answer. Then question number 23, which compound will not give ethanamine on reduction? So answer will be C. If you will see other option, they easily can give you ethanamine. So option C, ethanoyl chloride, will not give you ethanamine. Then question number 24, which gas is evolved during the reaction of methylamine with nitrous acid? So here the gas will be nitrogen. If you will do this reaction, you will get nitrogen gas plus you will get methyl alcohol, right? But here they are asking you the gas, so answer will be D, nitrogen. Then question number 26, thyroxine produced in the thyroid gland is an iodinated derivative of which amino acid? So this will be your answer. It is the correct answer, tyrosine. Tyrosine amino acid, that is the answer. So option C. Then question number 27, which one act as non-reducing sugar? So we know that sucrose is non-reducing sugar because it cannot reduce your Tollens reagent. Then we have question number 28, which polysaccharide is highly branched? So we need to see the structure and answer is amylopectin. It is highly branched structure in 2 dimensions. Then we have which vitamin must be supplied regularly in diet? So here answer will be A, vitamin C, because it is water soluble and it is excreting, right? So answer will be vitamin C. Other vitamin, they are not water soluble, okay? So they can be stored in our body itself. So answer will be A. Then question number 30, which one is a polyester type biodegradable polymer? So if you will see PHBB and nylon to nylon 6, they both are biodegradable, but the thing is we have to see ester linkage. So ester linkage is present in PHBB. So this will be your answer. 30th answer will be your B, PHBB. Then we have question number 31, which polymer cannot be obtained from diene monomer? So again we need to see the structure and answer will be D, Novolac. Then question number 32, polymer used in making unbreakable laminated sheets has repeating structural unit. So here we need to see which one can be used in unbreakable laminated sheet. So it is urea formaldehyde resin, and if you will see the structure, it has this repeating structural unit. Answer will be your D. Then question number 33, which drug acts as antihistamine? So we need to see which can act as anti-allergic. So answer will be A, brompheniramine. Brompheniramine can act as antihistamine. Answer A. Then question number 34. In 34 they are asking sodium metal crystallizes in BCC structure. In BCC structure means Z will be 2. How many unit cell are present in this given mass crystal of sodium metal, and they are giving you atomic mass also. So first we need to do like this, number of atoms in given mass. Given mass is, what is given mass? Given mass is 9.2. So molar mass into your Avogadro number, right? This will be your number of atoms. But they are asking you number of unit cell. Number of unit cell. So we need to divide by 2 because Z is 2. So 9.2 upon 23 into 6.023 into 10 raised to power 23. So when you will do this calculation, you will get this option B. That will be your answer. Then question number 35. In Al2O3 crystal, oxides ion are arranged in CCP structure. how much part of octahedral void is occupied by Al3 positive? It is very easy question. See this. The formula Al2O3. If you will see the your option, only this can give you this formula, right? So if it is 2 by 3 and 1, then only you will get this. So it is as simple as this. So answer will be D, 2 by 3. So 2/3 of octahedral void will be occupied by Al3 positive ions. Option D. Then question number 36. Which oxide behave like metallic or insulator depending on temperature? So here answer is TiO3. Okay. This oxide, they can behave like metallic or insulator when you will vary the temperature. Then question number 37. For unit cell of BaSO4 crystal, which option for axial angle is correct? So here the angles are same. Angles are equal. Alpha, beta, gamma, they will be of 90 degree. Option D will be your answer. Then question number 38. Elevation in boiling point of the aqueous solution of 0.01 m BaCl2 compared to urea. So we know that here elevation in boiling point, it is your colligative property and it will depend upon number of particle or number of ions, right? So BaCl2, it is ionizable compound and it is giving you 3 ion, 1 Ba2 positive and 2 Cl negative. In urea, it is non-ionizable, so number of particle you can consider only one molecule, right? So 1 and here we have 3. So that's why answer will be option C. It will be approximately 3 times. Okay, so it is depending upon the number of ions. That's why option is C. Then question number 39. If the solubility product of CuS is, so KSP is given, that is your 9 into 10 raised to power minus 16, and they are asking you what will be the maximum molarity of your CuS. So we know that CuS, it is coming as Cu2 positive ion and then sulfide ion, right? So this is S, solubility and S. So KSP can be written as S square and it is equal to 9 into 10 raised to power minus 16. So S will be, you need to take the under root and you will get the answer 3 into 10 raised to power minus 8 m. So answer is C. Then question number 40, which mixture shows negative deviation from Rolle's law? It is memory based question and here answer will be D, phenol and aniline. Then question number 41, which species is obtained at anode on electrolysis of aqueous solution containing higher concentration of H2SO4. So when we are doing this electrolysis, at cathode we are getting hydrogen gas and at anode we are getting this ion, okay, S2O8, 2 negative. This will be your answer, C option. Then question number 42, which substance is used as cathode in mercury cell? Again memory based question. So here we are using HGO plus we are using graphite. Okay, so D will be your answer. Next question is question number 43. If E naught for Fe3 to Fe is X volt and E naught for Fe2 positive to Fe is Y volt, then what will be the value for E naught Fe3 to Fe2 positive? So student, first of all, we need to see this, that E naught, okay, E naught, suppose it is E1 naught and it is for Fe3 positive. So when it will take 3 electron, it will form this Fe and here voltage is X, right? This is first equation. Then E2 naught, suppose E2 naught for the next reaction is Fe2 positive. When it will accept 2 electron, it will give you Fe and that is equal to Y volt. Second reaction. Then we have to calculate E3 naught for Fe3 positive. When it will accept only 1 electron, it will give you Fe2 positive and that we have to calculate. Means E3 naught value we have to calculate. Now we will use one relation, delta G is equal to minus NF E naught, right? For every equation, we will use this relation, delta G1 for here, delta G2 for here, and delta G resultant for this reaction. So for here, we will calculate delta G1 minus delta G2. G1, suppose this is for delta G1 and this equation for delta G2. N is the number of electrons that are required for these process. Suppose I am writing for delta G1, so it will be minus 3 because 3 electron we have used, 3 into F Faraday, okay, into E naught. E naught you can say, or you can write X also, E1 naught. I am here writing E1 naught, you can write X also because that value is given, minus delta G2. So G2 means this equation and we have used 2 electrons. So minus minus will be plus and it will be 2F E2 naught. E2 naught, or you can write Y. Both you can write. Delta G for the resultant here, and it will also be having one value because here also we are using 1 electron. So it will be minus 1 into F or minus F E3 naught. Okay. So it will be equal to this. So the thing is, we can write again minus 3F E1 naught plus 2F E2 naught, right? So if you will see, minus F we can take as common. Here I am writing. So minus F I am taking as common. Here it will be E3 naught left hand side and then right hand side. So minus F I am taking common. It will be 3 E1 naught minus 2 E2 naught, right? So we can cancel it. E3 naught, that is our required answer. E1 naught, I already told you it is X. So 3X minus E2 naught is Y. So answer will be this, option A. Then question number 44, in which of the following condition reduction potential of hydrogen half cell will be negative? For this I am giving you one trick. Okay, if Hi concentration square upon pressure of hydrogen gas, it is coming between 0 to 1, okay, then your reduction potential will be negative. So you can put all these value, okay, and if it is coming 0 to 1, okay, not equal to 0, not equal to 1, it should the value should be between 0 to 1, okay, then your answer will be correct. So when you will put all these value, you will get option B. Okay, option B if you will put, so it will be 1 by 4, 1 square upon 2, right? So 1 by 2, sorry, 1 by 2 it will come and it will be your answer. Okay, then your reduction potential will be negative, answer will be B. Then question number 45, what will be the unit of rate constant for the following reaction? So this is your zero order reaction. Because all the reactant and products are in gaseous state, it is zero order reaction. That is why here the unit of rate constant will be option D. Then question number 46, here they are asking you, one graph is given, okay, here for the reactant the energy is 150 and product is 100, okay, then they are asking you what will be the enthalpy change for the given reaction. So what we need to do is, we need to do the enthalpy change, okay, enthalpy change for this reaction will be the reaction the energy for product minus reactant, product minus reactant. So it will be 100 minus 150. So answer will be minus 50. So here we have this answer C. Then question number 47, time taken to complete zero order reaction is, so here your answer will be D, this will be your answer. Then question number 48, which pair of emulsion can be diluted by water? So diluted by water means they should be oil in water type. They should be oil in water type. So answer will be A, milk and vanishing cream. Question number 49, at equilibrium state in process of adsorption. At equilibrium. So we know that at equilibrium, this condition is followed. Delta H is equal to T delta S. Then last question, which is the example of colloid in which dispersed phase is liquid and dispersion medium is gas. Okay, so answer will be fog. That is memory based question. So I hope these answer they will help you in your preparation. So if you like this, kindly like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching.